Just because you're eating vegan doesn't mean you have to miss out going to restaurants with your friends and family. It's really simple to go out and eat vegan at regular restaurants. I still have not found a single place that I haven't been able to eat anything. While I'm sure they're out there, most places can at least provide you with some steamed vegetables, some potatoes, or some carbohydrate, something along those lines, really simple. But here are just a few tips and tricks that I've learned that you can use to help you eat out at restaurants vegan. So first of all, when you're asking, tell the waiter that you're vegetarian. That's super simple to say that you don't want meat, not normally a problem. But then when you're talking about the dairy and eggs, just tell them that you're allergic, because sometimes the waiter or waitress might not feel like going in the back and asking. You could say, oh, does this have any dairy in it? And they can just be like, yeah, I don't think so. But it really will. But if you tell them that you're allergic to it, then it's going to be like a big deal, because if you are allergic to it and it actually has dairy in it, that could be a lawsuit. You could start hyperventilating, or whatever it is right in the middle of the restaurant. Nobody wants that. So just tell them that you're allergic to dairy and eggs and you don't eat meat. And then, so there's no matter where you are, just try to look at the menu and see if there's anything that's mostly vegetables or a grain, something maybe like pasta or rice, potatoes, something along those lines. And if there's any dairy or meat, just ask if you can get it removed, because you can just veganize items. It doesn't mean just because there's meat as the first thing in the description doesn't mean that you can't eat that thing. Read the description. I work at a restaurant, and every single thing will say like your choice of meat is the first thing. But you can also get tofu, or you can get no meat at all, and then it'll say a couple different vegetables. So at first glance, when I looked at the menu, I was like, okay, so there's not really anything vegan here. But it turns out that I could eat almost everything on the list except for the things that were straight meat. Things like cashew nut chicken. Like, the name of the dish is chicken, but it's just cashew nuts and vegetables. The way I get it with extra mushrooms, and it's absolutely delicious. So don't just write something off if it says the word meat or dairy in it. See if you can get that removed. It's not a big deal just to ask. If they can't do it, try to, just order something else. If you can't find anything on the menu, a lot of times you can always get like French fries, baked potato with no sour cream or butter. Maybe get just some steamed veggies. You can always just ask, I'm vegan and I don't eat, animal products. Can you just make me something with just some veggies? And most places should be pretty accommodating, because that's really simple. Now, when you're out at certain specific places, and there might be more than this than I just know, but I know about like Mexican places and Thai food places. Well, and if you're at a pizza place, you can always just make sure there's no dairy or eggs in the crust, which most likely there isn't. I haven't seen a pizza place yet that does that, but it's always good to ask. And just get a pizza without cheese. My favorite toppings you can get loaded with veggies. My favorite toppings are black olives, onions, mushrooms, and pineapple. Oh my gosh, it's so good. Extra mushrooms. I just really like mushrooms, but it makes it so hearty and filling. You can even tell them to put maybe like extra sauce on it, whatever, but you can just get the pizza without cheese and it's just as delicious. Then if you're at a Mexican restaurant, be careful. Ask if the tortillas have lard or some animal fat in them. The rice may be cooked with chicken broth. At a lot of places, if it's a seasoned rice, make sure you ask if it's cooked with chicken broth or not. But it also may not be, don't just write it off. Make sure you ask. And the beans might be cooked with an animal fat as well, so maybe you should try whole beans, but again, they might not be, so it's always worth it to ask. And then if you find a place near you that has good vegan options, tell them that you keep coming back there because of that. Maybe they'll even help you think of new things to make, and maybe even think about putting some vegan items on their menu, because you tell them like, this is why I come here. I'll even tell other people that I know, if you know any other vegans, or you can put it on Happy Cow, go review it online saying that it's got good vegan options, like on Yelp or something, because I've looked that up and seen places where people will review and say they have good vegan options on Yelp. I'll look it up on Google, I'll find it on Yelp, and I'll go out of my way to go to that place. So if you find a place that is accommodating, you should do that for others, because it's really nice to help a fellow vegan out. And at Thai food places and Asian places, make sure you just ask about fish sauce or oyster sauce or shrimp paste, or like most just seafood things. They put it into a paste and then they'll just mix it in. Like the red curry paste at the Thai restaurant I work at has shrimp in it. It's just in the paste. So they might not, and some of the chefs don't even realize. It's the owner that tells me. I'll be like, yeah, you can get the red curry. And then I'll go in the back. I'll be like, can you make it without shrimp? And they're like, oh yeah, not a problem. And then the owner will come up and she'll be like, no, there's shrimp in the curry paste. So you just got to really, really ask and make sure that there's no seafood type things in Asian food, because that can be a hidden ingredient a lot of the times. Falafel at Mediterranean places should always be vegan. I'm trying to think of other nationalities and other foods, but I can't really think of any off the top of my head, because there's a lot of Asian food and Mexican food around me. So if you know of any other tips or tricks, please leave them down in the description, in the comments below, because I would love to know. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.